not attempt to adjust your dial. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. It's your boy Big Vern. This is App Stupid, the fastest growing sports and entertainment show on these YouTube streets. You're welcome. Holla at us. Yo, it's your boy Big Vern. Vern gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you. Rest in peace, DMX. Welcome to App Stupid. If this is your first time joining us, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We like it when you do that. Also, it supports the channel and goes a long way. We got done talking about a lot of things. First of all, Mac Brown and the North Carolina Tar Heels, they are an abject failure. James Madison hung 70. They're the only football team who's got beat by basketball numbers so far. This was just hard to watch. Nebraska starts choking. I told everybody the problem with Nebraska, they don't score points in the second half of games. They kind of dial it in. You saw what happened with Illinois on Friday night. Then Florida fights back. They have a great game on the road. It was clean. And for all of the bitching and belly aching right now, Billy Napier's at 2-2. Florida's got a winning record right now, as of right now. So celebrate right now. Look for UCF next week, but enjoy this one. So from the SEC to the Big Ten, Indiana is one of the best teams in the Big Ten, and they are a bowl buster for sure. Now, what I mean by this is that Cignetti has put up more points in his first 3 games than any Indiana team in history. You have to take account for some of this because LSU played UCLA, and if that game wouldn't have been at home, a lot of those calls were suspect to help LSU, whereas Indiana handedly beat LSU. Indiana beat LSU so bad, they were pretty much in silence in Brentwood. Like, wait a minute, how did this thing even get off the rails this fast? Indiana's a scary team. You want to go and you want to look at the efficiency model. And what kills me is that it's death by a million cuts. 288 yards in the air, 222 yards on the ground. That's about seven and a half yards of play. That's not bad. 29 first downs. Again, they went for it 3 times on 4th down. They converted twice. The 3rd down efficiency has got to get a little bit better. If I'm going to be nitpicky and say, hey, look, things have got to get better, put behind the 8 ball on 3rd down 10 times. They converted 4 of them. That's got to get better. One thing I like is that they play a lot of clean football in terms of penalties. They're not a highly penalized team. Again, the UCLA game was an outlier because in Brentwood, they were giving up Miami numbers, 105 penalties. Come on, bro. 105 yards in penalties, and they still got waxed. Come on, man. 3 penalties for 33 yards. That's a very efficient and clean game. And then they held on to the ball for 30 minutes and 19 seconds of a football game. So they controlled the pace, they controlled the tempo, and then with them going and converting not only on 3rd and 4th down to extend drives, you can clearly see Indiana is a problem in the Big Ten. And just how big, we'll talk about that when we come back from a quick 20 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. Yes, Subway. Eat fresh, refresh. Order online, download the app, or visit the good folks at your local Subway. Subway. Eat fresh, refresh. So when I said this is problematic in the Big Ten, I meant it because Indiana puts up double digits every quarter. And in this game, there was no different. The first half of this game, it was 31-14. 31-14 in this first half of football. Charlotte didn't score again. They had all their points in the second quarter. Now I know everybody's like, hey, look, it's Charlotte, don't get pumped up. No, these are games that's going to help you get your footing. And this is why when I look at these games and I see the level of opponent, you brought them to town for a reason. However, what you see is, how did we beat them? Did we beat them on the ground? Did we beat them on the air? Was special teams a factor? How was our defense? Those things right there matter about continuity of a team. And again, in the first quarter, Indiana put up 10 points. Second quarter, they put up 21 points. Third quarter, coming out of halftime, they put up 14 points. At the end, Indiana just, I guess they let them off the hook and put the water boy in, or whoever was in the crowd out at Bloomington. They got out and they put up 7 points. It's just like, wow. Rourke, he's announced himself on a national scale because he doesn't put people in dangerous situations. I mean, on the year, he's already got 1,000 yards. 1,000 yards, 8 TDs, no interceptions. His QBR rating right now is at 92.4. If he's ever a guy nobody's talking about that can go and play on Sunday, it just may be him. They even let the backup come in, Taven Jackson, and he was seven attempts, 2 completions for 30 yards. You'll hear it. A running back rushing by committee. They had so many guys back there in double digits. I mean, hell, you had Rourke. Not only did he throw for 258 and a score, he also ran for 32 yards and a score. Wow. So again, Indiana is just one of those teams that you don't really want to match up with if you've got college playoff aspirations. They play Maryland up next, then there's Northwestern. Nebraska comes to Bloomington. They're going to give up and get beat. Washington, I got to go ahead and watch Washington and see what they've done so far. Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, Purdue. The 4 schools that are in that back half could be in trouble. Michigan could be in trouble. Michigan could be in trouble more than any of them. Because if Michigan loses, they'll lose to Ohio State. Michigan will get beat by Ohio State this year. Michigan can't lose to Indiana. Indiana would have effectively eliminated Michigan. And the reason why that would happen is that Indiana doesn't play Penn State. And if Penn State has 1 loss on their record, maybe 2 at the max, they have a better strength of schedule than Michigan. And so looking at how dangerous Indiana is at home, if they're able to pull off that upset, now the 4th team in the playoff has to be Indiana coming out of the Big Ten. So we know you're going to get Ohio State. I don't know how Oregon's going to fare. Oh, Michigan, they may have one up on everybody because they just beat USC. They just beat USC Saturday in the Big House. So when you go look at this thing, I don't know when you start talking about resumes. Because on Indiana's schedule, there's no Illinois, there's no Oregon. Yeah, no Oregon, no Illinois. They have Washington. So yeah, they outside of UCLA and then passing that test with flying colors. I don't know. The Hoosiers seem to be a buzzsaw. Give me a quick 10 from a rap album we're promoting this month. This your boy Big Vern. Drop the spot. I know you ain't gonna believe this, but we got another rap album we're promoting this month. LL Cool J, The Force, in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My favorites on the album is Spirit of Cyrus, Saturday Night Special, Black Code Suite, Passion, and The Vow. Many more. LL Cool J, The Force, in stores now. Yeah, shout out to James Todd. He's playing no games. Murdergram is dope. Murdergram is dope with him and Eminem. Okay, so when we last left off, we were talking about how dangerous the Indiana Hoosiers are and how they could actually be a bowl buster for teams who are trying to get into that 12-team college playoff. And the fact that Cignetti, they're okay in his eyes. Now, this is his words after the Charlotte game. He's saying they still got a far way to go, that we haven't seen the best of them. And if we haven't seen the best of the Hoosiers right now, look the hell out. I kept telling everybody that these dudes, if it was ever someone who sat up here and they said that they were from the Nick Saban tree and they were all former Alabama guys, it's Cignetti and the bunch. They were hiding out at James Madison. And like I said, Cignetti wins everywhere he goes. And so before the season started, I kept telling people, nobody knows what this Indiana thing is going to look like. You have to give it time to develop. But I'm excited. And again, I'll take my victory lap where I can get it. Now, full disclosure, I'm a Hoosier fan, a diehard. It's my team. It's who I root for. It's where I go. It's where half my family went for college and graduated. I couldn't run from it if I tried. However, I think that this is a team, if you could avoid them, you should avoid them. But I could be wrong. The good folks of Bloomington, let me know. Is Indiana the real deal? Or is this a lot about nothing? This is Big